All right, today on Eck versus Forbes, we are going to get our aprons dirty.
That is right. We are going to go head to head in a cooking challenge, and we are going to be judged by two absolutely amazing chefs. I'm not going to lie, I'm really scared.
Yeah, me too, actually.
It's intimidating. Let's go inside.
I didn't think about it right now. So they're actually going to say things about how we cook.
Yes.
I thought we were just cooking.
Thanks, guys. Okay, today what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be making pasta from scratch, and you can really put your own creative twist on it. I'm taking a little bit of goat cheese, arugula, ravioli, so you don't have to make a ravioli, but what you can do is you can make fettuccine, you can make angel hair, but we will be doing pasta from scratch. So we're gonna head over to this side, and what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start making the pasta. The dough is made, so that's a good head start. Water's boiling also, and this is where the fun part comes in. When it comes to dusting your station, just go with a good baseball throw and let that just fall down everywhere. And then we can get that dusted on the station also. Take that, pound that out, flatten it, and then we got a nice soft dough to work with. And we want to start on number 1. That's the first setting we're going to start on. And it's going to go from thicker to thinner the whole way. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to force that down into the pasta maker. You just want to let the pasta maker do its work. Take that, dust a little of that flour over each side, and then we go to number 2. And then with that, we continue moving that through. That's number 2. At this point, you really want to make sure your water is boiling. There's nothing worse than starting your pasta and it's made and it's just hanging out and you're waiting for the water to boil. And that is number 7, and that's good. That's how thin we'll actually end up going. You should be able to see your hand right through it. We take a little bit of the goat cheese, roll those into little balls so it stays nice and clean together. Make sure we seal the pasta, and what we need to do with that is we just use a little bit of water and just go around the goat cheese, because if this is not sealed, you're in big trouble. And what's going to end up happening is all the water is going to leak through the pasta, which is really what you don't want after all the work you've made. Now we take the top part over, and then we just allow that to drape in between, push down. Also right here, and then the last one. And then what we're gonna do is we need to push the air out. Just use your fingers gently, go around the mounds all the way to the last one. And then here's a little trick that you can always use, like just use a little cookie cutter at home. Don't use the sharp end, just the soft dull end, and then rub that around. It's kind of like taking your pasta to the spa and giving it a little bit of a rub there. And then with that, that pushes all the other air out. There we are. Come over here, take your larger cutter, that goes around the outside. This is gonna give it the nice clean shape that we're looking for. You could cut these into squares, and then you have all this extra pasta. A lot of times in the restaurant, what we do with this is we take it over to the other attachment, and that ends up being staff meal for the night. And we have fresh pasta. Tell the waiters that they did a good job selling that wine and those specials last night. We decided to make you fresh pasta, but they don't need to know it's the leftovers. There we go. And there is some fettuccine that you've made. So you need to roll that first to get it to the fettuccine. Next thing we're gonna do, push our finger around each side, like so. Water's boiling, okay, ready to go. So we go in. These take about 2 minutes, not much longer. So they're nice and soft into the water. Next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna do a simple brown butter sauce. And with that, we just take some good unsalted butter into the pan. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna toast that with the walnuts. Then I'm gonna fold in some fresh sage leaves, some cherry tomatoes, a little arugula. What we're doing is we're browning the milk solids. There's so much residual heat in the pan that if you let that sit there, it's a goner. What I'm listening for is the crackling, which we can hear. Those are the milk solids toasting in the pan. And I'm looking at all this white froth on top, and that tells me all the milk solids have risen. Crackling stop, off the heat. And then you can see that the browning has started. In goes the sage, and you're gonna hear all the crackling of the sage. Tomatoes, go in. We have that. Pasta's ready over on this side. Come over. It's always good to serve a little bit of your pasta water in the dish. Okay, that just helps the sauce coat the pasta in the pan. There we go. We have some fresh arugula, which I like to finish in the pan also. And then most importantly, we always need to season our food. A little salt there. Give that a little toss. And now we get to do the fun part. We get to plate the food. You could use a bowl, but the sauce is cooked into the pasta, so there's a lot of flavor going on there. Okay, some of the tomatoes over top, some of the walnuts. Those can go along. So it's always nice to have a good Reggiano on hand. And then you can just, nice big strips there. That always looks nice for presentation up top. And then one of my favorites is always have, this is called Vincotto, which is basically a cooked wine, which is gonna cut through the goat cheese really, really nice. Just highlights the dish also. And then just finish your pasta with one of your favorite olive oils that you have at home. And that's my dish. That is a caramelized onion, arugula, goat cheese with a brown butter sage sauce. And now back to you to go for it. Is that good?